Christmas on the airplane. So I thought I just had the flu or something like that. But I kept getting more sick and feeling worse. So I ended up in the emergency room, and the lady told me to go sit down and wait. So I was waiting, and it was it's funny it's like your body is starting to tell you, hey, something is not right. Like this is serious. So I went back up to the front and I told the woman, I'm not feeling right. Something's not right. And then she yelled at me and told me to go sit back down. So I was like, okay, I was about to cry, like, okay. But I turned around to go sit down and I heard a voice that said, you're about to fall. And then that I passed out. And the next thing I remember is they were back there talking to me, telling me that I had an abscess in my throat that was blocking off my airway and that I needed emergency surgery. And so I'm like, okay, so they're willing me to surgery. I remember that off and on. And then I remember in there, hearing the doctor talking if they need an OR room stat. And then I remember the anesthesiologist, putting the face mask, that stuff that they do and tell you to count backwards. And that's the last thing I remember. And from there, my next memory is I'm just in this place, and I know Jesus is there because I knew him. I have had a very close relationship with him before this happened. So it's like I knew his presence, but there was just this kind of confusion. It really wasn't uncomfortable, but I was thinking like, what happened? And I'm noticing I don't feel any pain or heaviness. If any of you know that suffer from like arthritis, like it's always there. There's always that pinching pain, and all that was gone. And I felt so light. And then it's like all of a sudden I started just feeling his overwhelming sense of love on me. And it was like this acceptance, like if you went home for Christmas and all your family was there, even the ones that are mean to you or that you might, not get along with. So it was like everyone loved you and accepted you times a million. It just kept like pouring out over me. But it's like he was a gentleman staying off to the side, letting me get acclimated to my new surroundings and my new body, or like whatever it was. I mean, I didn't see it. I could still see things, but I mean, you're not in this flesh suit anymore. It was almost like I didn't feel anything pulling on me, like I had stepped out of time. That's the best way I can describe it, because it felt so different. It's like you step out of like this bubble thing, and then it's like no gravity, no time ticking to where it's having to push you forward and things having to synchronize and go on a pattern. It was just like this freedom, and you're there, and there is no concept of time. And that's the best way I can word it. And he's there, and he's like standing by like a gentleman, letting you get acclimated to it. And at first he was just a really bright, soft light. And it was like, if you're short like me, when you're driving and the sun setting a certain way and it's coming in through and kind of blinding you, then it hurts. But it's like seeing that huge bright light, but it doesn't hurt. It's beautiful, and you feel so connected to him. And it's like he was showing me himself as the light. But I felt his spirit wave flowing through me, like I was connected to